Jean Barretta.
Well, since it's so hot out, I decided that instead of actually delivering my speech here at the podium, I'm just going to text it to you so you can read it on your own time, okay? Picture, let's get one. And send. Thank you. I got something to be excited, didn't I? Well, in 1977, David Vendetti and I were the only two students in Madame Melman's French class. And early on in the semester, we saw a picture on her desk of her Baba, her Babaji, her guru. And we asked about it. She said she was more than happy to tell us all about how she loved Eastern philosophy and how she meditated. Now, to be honest, our hearts were not in French at the time. So we did what we could to distract her from the lesson, and we said, "You meditate? Is that something you can show us?" And we were able to transform a portion of our French classes into this. And sometimes that. And we never got in trouble for it. We actually thought we were getting one over on her. But guess what? Today I meditate. Now, my friend Bill Byerly and I, we were really good at fake fights. We knew how to pull a punch so nobody got hit. We knew how to fall to make it look authentic. And our first year of senior class was also the first day of Dr. John Levia's teaching career here at Doane. And early that morning, before I had even met him, I went up to him in very hushed tones, like an informant kind of, and I said, "Keep your desk clear on fourth period." And then I left. So when fourth period came around, Bill and I bashed through the door of the English class, went at each other like a Western saloon. I rolled over the desk and my foot broke a shelf on his bookshelf. And we were shocked because he loved the way we initiated him into Doane. And guess what? Years later, I showed up to visit him and the shelf was still broken. It was his memory of us. He valued that. He loved it. And we didn't get in trouble. The year before, the English teacher brought his lunch up from the lunchroom into the classroom, and I put on a big act like I was really offended, like, how dare you bring food into a room of higher learning, right? And I grabbed his meal, and I ended by dropping his entire meal out of the second-story window. Oh, I did get in trouble for that. The point I'm trying to make is that these teachers recognized who we were outside of the academics, where we excelled and where our... You too? They recognize that in you? Oh, I thought you were waving to me. Okay. Okay, gotcha. And they know that you're all going to walk your own unique paths when you say goodbye to Doane and when you go off and begin your adventure. I've learned that there's an impressive range of paths in your class, and I won't restate them because Ben and Tim did a really excellent job in doing that. But I want you to join me in something here. You're living your own flashback right now. This is going to be our Obi-Wan and Luke moment. So I'm going to offer you some wisdom that you're going to take with you through life, okay? 39 years ago, I was you. Right there. Are you ready? It will be different. It will be different. It will be different. And so 20 years from now, when maybe you're working a job you hadn't anticipated, or you fall in love with somebody who was never your type, or your politics have changed, or you find you're downloading all the songs you felt were crap in 2017, you're going to look back and you're going to see me. Only I'll be more semi-silhouette, and this will be kind of out of focus with smoke and John Williams music. It will be different. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. One key to a happy and successful life is the ability to adapt to change. The education you're getting now will prepare you for that, because 20 years from now, you're actually getting an education that will prepare you for jobs that don't even exist yet, really. When I was your age, they didn't have occupations like wind turbine technicians or stem cell researchers or even ethical computer hackers, not to mention the more prestigious ones like professional bridesmaids or pet food tasters. When I left high school, I wanted to be a film director, and I went to film school. I was so passionate about it that when French director Francois Truffaut died, I wore a black armband for a week. And I went to film school, first at the University of Bridgeport in Connecticut, which had a great school at the time, and graduated from NYU, hence my hood. And I'm not a film director, which is what I had my heart set on. But I'm happy, and I'm really pleased and fulfilled with my career. Eventually I realized something very important, that a career is about more than just the work. You cannot really separate your work from your personal life. They feed on each other and they depend on each other. Knowing that is going to help a lot. For example, the idea of being on the road for weeks or months at a time on a film or TV project I found was just not for me. I also loved playing music and fantasized about being a Beatle. But forget about it, that was just way beyond what I was going to like as a lifestyle. But I didn't know that until I was actually doing it. So I wrote a book about the inventor Thomas Edison, and I discovered a truly inspiring quote from a man who didn't take failure as an obstacle. He said, "I have not failed, I just found 10,000 ways that will not work." Good, right? I took lessons from those early experiences with film and music, and I brought them to my books. And I realized all those careers had something in common: storytelling. The word alone suggests career stability and financial security. So I started fresh in my late 30s, knocking on doors, handing out sample sheets of my work, networking with a whole new group of professionals. I worked 7 days a week, night and day, which is what I kind of still do. I was married and I had a new baby boy, and I knew I had new responsibilities. Every time I got a new rejection letter, it was that much scarier, and I had to talk myself out of quitting many times. It was many years of sporadic illustration jobs, novelty books, mass market books, school books, and in these years, the books weren't as important as the training I got as a professional. I learned diplomacy. I learned about the industry and collaboration during these years. I learned that no one wants to work with a temperamental artist. I learned that because there are so many talented people out there, that it can come down to being hired because you're a pleasure to work with. So when I went to work for Sesame Street at one point and Between the Lions, I was ready. I knew how to work as a professional. And I continued to build the blocks. After so many years, I got picture book assignments, I got an agent. While I was illustrating, I started developing book ideas of my own, and it was still another couple of years of getting the right manuscript picked up after many revisions and rejections. And eventually I had enough work and received enough recognition to take myself seriously as an author and illustrator. I've illustrated about 30 books, 8 of which I've written, and several continue to do well. Some are lesson plans in schools across the country, and they brought me some awards and honors. A few are in Spanish and Chinese and Braille, which I would have never expected. And I've recently started writing books for other illustrators, so my career continues to expand and grow. And I occasionally keep a foot in the film and TV world with some writing and some character design stuff. Today I try to remember to keep that balance, though, between my work and my personal life. My career is in a good place and always improving. My personal life, my career is in a good place and keeps improving. It was important to have a good support group of friends and family to talk me through the doubt over those difficult years. My brother Bill, who also attended Doane, has walked a similar path in the arts, and he knows the struggles and risks I went through, and he believed in his dream and now has great success working with the Muppets since 1990. And I'm told you're a very tight-knit class. Please stay in touch. That is awesome. Root for each other. Remind each other that you came from a school that prepared you for the challenges and the successes. Remind your friends of the dreams they had when they left here today. As an artist, I'll give you this exercise. Have you ever seen, in portraits of either today or centuries ago, they're often filled with objects. And those objects tell the story of that subject, who they were, what they liked, what they did, what their emotional state was at the time. Think about 40 years from now. What's going to be in your portrait? And better yet, make it a self-portrait, because you're going to be the one holding the brush, right? So adapt to those changes. Here, when you get a fortune cookie, and it's always the most absurd message, right? We still have learned how to adapt it to our own life. Make it work for us. Let's see what we got. Be on the alert to recognize your prime at whatever time of your life it may occur. Well, the butcher cookie called me a liar because this actually applies to what I'm talking about. I didn't even have to adapt it, but so thank you. So let me wrap up by saying thank you, Mr. Sanderson, and the staff and the teachers for asking me to come and speak today. It really is an honor. I loved my years here at Doane. And I want to also, we should give another thank you to all the parents and families out there for making your career here at Doane possible. Come on, students, give it up to your parents and your families. Students, I just want to say congratulations. You've achieved something really, really impressive already. You're graduating. That is no small task. So I want to wish you all an exciting adventure, and I want to wish you all good fortune.